Here's just some of the video last night of them in my driveway after they beat my ass. The ambulance has just pulled up. As you see, that's my truck right here. That's how far I got in my driveway when the cop pulled me over for not having a tag, even though I have a tag. That's Mason sitting on the front porch. He's really traumatized and triggered as I am. They threatened to have social services come and kidnap my son so they could traffic more. Right now, I'm in this police car here, being taunted. And the one the cop just walked away is Officer Davis, is the violent thug that pulled up and slammed me against the car, slammed me on the ground, lifted my arms up in a position they can't go, and dislocated my shoulder. Luckily, on the way to the hospital, my shoulder popped back into socket. It's still somewhat out right now. But as you can see, all this because the cop wanted me. And let me specify this. You guys have seen me the last few nights drive home, and the drone was on me. When I left the mountain, there was no drone. When I got to the airport, there was no drone. The first time in 10, 12 years that really bright drone was not visible to me, and that's the night a cop sets up to get me. And I want you to look, this boy right here is traumatized. He is upset. They were yelling and screaming at him, threatening him because he was recording the video. I haven't seen the video he's got, but Tina had him go to his mama's house to look at him. The poor kid was crying and upset. Tina said it really messed him up, so she had to send him to his mama's house to get him to chill out, or to her brother's house. He's tore slap up. But let me tell you this. The cops last night guaranteed, they set in stone another generation that hates and despises them. They did that. They put that. They saw this thug, Davis. He saw him assault me, slam me. This is where they put me on the stretcher. Saw him run up behind me, slam me in the back of the cop car as hard as he could. His head and his hand against the back of my head, against the side of the car, bounced me off the car, then kicked my feet out from underneath me, swept me, slammed me on my shoulder and my side, and then started screaming for me to get back up when he just knocked me on the ground. I've got severe fibromyalgia. I don't move fast, especially at the end of the day when I've been busy all day. But this is what LONGVIEW does. All because he said I did not have a license plate on my truck. I did not have a license plate. Oh, by the way, I'm assuming that LONGVIEW PD reported my video, so now they've removed, I cannot make a comment for the next 24 hours. I cannot comment on YouTube for the next 24 hours. As you can see, there's a tag there. There's a tag right there. And this is how high he would be in his Explorer, especially when he saw me go over the railroad tracks. He came up to the truck, and the first thing he said is, I said, "Why are you pulling me over?" He said, "You don't have a tag on your vehicle." He gets out of his truck with the lights shining on the back of my car, knowing that's the most reflective thing, walked right by the tag on my truck, just like that, and says, "You don't have a tag on your truck." That's what happened. Then I invoked my rights. I said, "What's your reasonable articulable suspicion?" I said, "Please go back and look at the tag." I said, "Please go back and look at the tag. The tag is back there. Please go back. The tag is good. Nothing wrong with the tag, and I'll go to insurance." He didn't even ask for the insurance on my truck. He didn't want any of that. You know what he wanted? He wanted power over me. I didn't kiss his ass in my driveway. This is the either third or fourth time that, name this, how do I get pulled over in my driveway 3 or 4 different times? Don't that sound like somebody setting up a killing? Doesn't it sound like that? And when you get the body camera and you see me screaming for my son, you know why? Because there's not a doubt in my mind, if these cops in LONGVIEW get the opportunity, that they will kill me. I am I am not scared to die. My eternity is in God's hands. I can't change it. If they're going to kill me, they're going to kill me. There ain't nothing I can stop about it. And guess what? There's nothing I'm going to do to make it happen. This cop yelled at me and said, "You can't speak. Shut up. Shut up. You can't talk. Shut up. Quit talking. Quit talking. Quit talking." Really? I'm not allowed to talk? Said the same thing at the magistrate's. "You can't talk. Shut up. Shut up. Quit talking. I can't hear the magistrate." So, they started the war. I didn't. The lawsuit that I've already had. Oh man, look, the dang cat got a squirrel. I hope he kills it. I'm going to eat it. Keep that squirrel so I can eat it. I had a perfect lawsuit for deprivation of rights under color of law where the chief of police stalked my son, his number 2 guy, SBI and FBI graduate, sat out front of my house and recorded Mason with one of the big telephoto lens. Then he went all the way across the street. He went all the way over there, started recording the backyard, went around the block, recorded it, and I've got that video. I don't know if it's still on this channel or the other one. When I came outside, went to the station, he acted like he's scared to get out of his car till somebody else come out. And I asked him, why are you stalking me? And the chief called me back. "You've never heard that recording where he said, I'm going to go through all your social media and find a crime so I can put you in jail." That's chilling my free speech. And that was just after I had went silent on YouTube for 2 months. I went quiet and then they threatened me. They also unlawfully trespassed me from private property because I was out there I was shooting my crossbow. They called the owner of that property in New York, solicited a trespass so I couldn't go into that field. Did you know that? This is all proof of the retaliation against me for my First Amendment speech. Just like Officer Davis said after he slammed me against the car, swept my feet and put me in the dirt, and then said, "I'm a big guy." And then when I'm sitting in the back of the car, he's in the front seat and he leans in, he said, "Don't you got a YouTube channel?" So in America, under Democrat rule, if you've got a YouTube channel and you hurt the powers that be feelings, when you hurt their feelings, like when my son laid out of school and I thought he was missing and I called law enforcement, they took me to the department up there and interrogated me for 2 or 3 hours. Interrogated Tina here, offered her a deal so she wouldn't go to prison, so I could go to prison. Searched the attic for the body of my son. This is what cops do. They didn't walk up and down the road and try to find him. They didn't go next door. They didn't go door to door and try to find my son. They came to me to tell him where the body was. And I criticized them for that. I criticized them. I was under enough stress that my son was gone. But they couldn't get in their heads that it was real. And still to this day, they think that I did that for YouTube. For some reason, they think I am almighty and powerful on YouTube because the things I say hurt. They cannot take my First Amendment where I criticize them. I have the right to redress my government. And they don't like it. And the sheriff said it, or the chief of police said it. I'm going to go through all your social media and find a crime. I sat back and I said, look, I got to live here. We're going to let it go. They leave me alone. I'll leave them alone and everything will be fine. So guess what? That statute of limitations from the violations that they did before, it's back in play now. It's back in play now. Now I can use that evidence just like the unlawful traffic stop, the unlawful trespass, everything that they've done to harm me is now in one big package deal. All because this mouth says things that they don't like. Pretty soon, freedom of speech will be over in this country. But until then, I'm going to speak out about the people on welfare that wear costumes, that harass and collect, extort and murder and cage every day. Because when that hurricane happened and I was out helping storm victims, you didn't see a cop on the road anywhere. But the day the power was on, the day the traffic was back out, there was a Longview cop at the top of the road ready to write tickets. please support me. Just pray. Pray that we can stand this retaliation. Pray that God will find us a way out of here. Because we're living week to week like every other family in America. While they're guaranteed their paychecks stolen from the taxpayers, every day we have to get up and struggle. When they won't stop a house full of the cartel runs free in Longview, North Carolina to do whatever they do. Because they pay big taxes. Because they get revenue off the big laundromat up front. But an American citizen that wants to be free, wants to criticize his government, and wants to rebel against the fascism that we've been under for the last 100 years, I'm going to keep fighting. God bless.